everyone, welcome to my channel Pure Biology, and today's topic is that fertilization process and related topic of fertilization, that the sporophytic generation, gametophytic generation, already explained in my channel, so you just check out that all. And this is a continuation part of the plant's development. The fertilization process is that here the pollen germinates where the stigma is the female reproductive part of the flower, and when pollen germinates in the stigma, in most of the plants pollen produces only one tube. Okay, so when it germinates in stigma, it starts to form the tube, pollen tube. In some cases only one tube is formed, in some cases and another cases many tubes form from one pollen. When only one tube is formed from the one pollen, that is known as the monosiphonous, and many pollens then form in some cases like the malvaceae. So in that situation it is called the polysiphonous. The pollen tube that begins to grow by the tip growth. Tip growth means its end growth that arises and to form the extending the pollen tube. And the cytoplasm and remains differentiated into the apical and the subapical region. So here the two regions are formed by the cytoplasm's division process. The two regions known as the apical region and the subapical regions. Now the vegetative nucleus and the two nucleus are formed, and one is the vegetative nucleus, another is the generative nucleus. Okay, and the sperms you can say, or the actual male gamete. So these and the cytoplasmic organelles also and the small vesicles, those all the transferred from the pollen and occur in the subapical region. So when the pollen tube starts to develop, then the cytoplasm already divides into two regions. One is the apical and subapical region, and all the two nucleus. This is vegetative nucleus. This is the another nucleus. This is the male gamete, and the cytoplasmic organelles and the small vesicles. Those are all transferred from the pollen to the subapical region. Clear? And this apical end is devoid of organelles but contains the numerous vesicles. So apical region, there are many organelles also present and sometimes some vesicles also present. Tip of the growing pollen tube has calcium and the pH gradient. So here the growth of the tip, that also dependent on the calcium concentration and the pH gradient. And generally the calcium concentration is high and the pH is slightly acidic where the extreme tip region of the pollen tube. And the pollen tube that passing through the style and reach the ovarian cavity, and the pollen tube comes in contact with the ovule. So just it arrives through the style and enters the ovarian cavity and just comes in contact with the ovule and enters the embryo sac through the micropyle. So how they enter into the embryo sac? Through the micropyle they enter into the embryo sac. Or sometimes the chalazial tissue, these also help the pollen tube to enter into the embryo sac. And the pollen tube that enters one of the degenerating synergids. So what are the synergids? What are the chalazial tissue? These terms already explained, so you just check out that previous videos. So synergid is nothing but a cell. So what happened when the pollen tube enters into the synergids already started to degenerate. Clear? And discharge its content within the cell. So all the thing that discharge within the cell. And the synergid receiving the pollen tube partly degenerates before the pollen tube arrives. So I just explained here that before entering the pollen tube, already synergids that start to degenerate. So it just arrives the synergid, and synergid's function is receive the pollen tube. So this phenomenon associated associated with the release of the chemotropic substances that guides the tube into the altered synergy. So when already one synergy, the first one, where the pollen tube enters, that is degenerated, then the chemical substance that released from the pollen tube or the cell that help the pollen tubes to guide that to enter into the another synergies, because this synergy has the some time for degeneration or it degenerates later. The pollen tube that stops growing part way in the synergy and bursts open and releases its content. So when it entered to the synergy, that in that situation it stops its growing process and just bursts to release the contents. And here, out of the two male gametes, one fertilizes egg to form the zygote and another that combines with the secondary nucleus, that is nothing but the polar nucleus. There are two polar nuclei, so that fuse with the another male gamete to form the endosperm. So here the fertilization is seen in such a way that double fertilization is occurred. That means one male gamete that fuses with the egg to form the zygote, that is called the syngamy, and another combined with the secondary nucleus to form the endosperm. So this is the fertilization process of the plants. So I think you could understand it properly. And in my next video, I will try to explain another topic related to the plant development. So you just continue with my channel, and if this is helpful to you, so please you share and subscribe this channel and hit the bell icon for getting the notifications. Okay, thank you.